Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea Tranquility. I'm your host, Pete Pardo. This is the show here on the channel featured every Wednesday. You're going to get a bunch of them where we talk about some of the cool new releases in the worlds of heavy metal, hard rock, progressive rock, classic rock, jazz, fusion. That's kind of what we cover here on the channel. So every Wednesday, you guys can expect in the afternoon a whole slew of videos featuring new albums that we're here to talk about. Hopefully really good ones. You might not have some good ones from time to time. We'll see. Today, the brand new release on Metal Blade Records from legendary New York, now Florida, death metal band Cannibal Corpse. The name of the album is Violence Unimagined. Look at that cover, huh? Believe it or not, this is the 15 studio albums for this legendary band. 15 albums. I had no idea it was that many. I know I got a bunch of them. I don't nearly have all of them, but I will say this is a damn good one. So this is featuring the sort of new lineup of the band, right? We got a little change here. We got, of course, as always, behind the microphone, Mr. George Corpse Grinder Fisher, Rob Barrett on rhythm guitar, Alex Webster, the amazing Alex Webster on bass guitar, Paul Mazurkowitz on drums, and now full-time member of the band. He's been working with them as producer in recent years, been filling in live for Pat O'Brien. Welcome, Eric Rattan on lead guitar. Eric Rattan, of course, also from the great band Hate Eternal, which is his other death metal band. So let's take a look at the album, shall we? Wouldn't be a Cannibal Corpse album without all sorts of horror, garish, zombie imagery, right? And you get lots of that here. Let's take a look. This is obviously not for the squeamish. Lyrics and more insane killings, mutilations, zombifications. They're the guys in the band looking all sorts of serious. Why so serious? Why so serious? That's Cannibal Corpse for you. All right, there you go. I mean, this is, if you're a fan of Cannibal Corpse, this is what you expect, right? This is part of the whole thing. It's, it's the whole image. It's what they do. Songs filled with lyrics about, all sorts of gross and disgusting stuff, horror imagery and zombies and mutilations and all sorts of crazy things. Really good album. So, this band has a lot of really good albums over the years, and I wouldn't say I'm an absolute professional on all of the works of Cannibal Corpse. I have probably maybe half the catalog, and I do like them quite a bit. I've always been a fan, but just not one of those bands that I have religiously seeked out every single album. It seems like I'm always kind of like every other album or every two albums I wind up picking up and getting into, and then there's just so much stuff to listen to. But I will say this is quite good, and what I like about it is there's quite a bit of songs on here. There's about a dozen songs, I think. 11 songs. Good amount of variety. I really like when Cannibal Corpse mix up like the really fast, speedy stuff, the blast beats and the million miles an hour picking and all that kind of stuff, with the slower, grimier, dirgier type of stuff. And there's a good amount of both on here. Murderous Rampage is the kickoff track. Really good. That's more of a faster paced, old school death metal type of thing. I absolutely love Condemnation Contagion. Interesting, the song titles here. Again, that's got these big, humongous riffs and the kind of, if Slayer's guitar solos were a little more kind of shreddy and virtuoso, not to knock Slayer because I love Slayer, but, you got Eric Rattan on here, really fine player. Surround, Kill, Devour, awesome as well. Humongous riffing. All right, Follow the Blood, another tremendous song. Bound and Burn, fast-paced, rampaging, slightly technical death metal. Cerements of the Flayed is the last song. Again, that big, slow, monolithic death metal riffage just absolutely slays everything in its path. Of course, you got Corpse Grinder Fisher doing his, guttural growls throughout the whole thing. Great drumming on here, whether it's the crazy blast beat stuff or the double kicks and just all sorts of cool stuff. And of course, Alex Webster with his amazing, bass playing. Great bottom end. These songs are kind of groovy. Weird, right? I mean, you don't think of death metal as having a lot of groove, but I think that's one of the things I always liked about Cannibal Corpse. They had that kind of cool thumping bottom end, which is always nice to hear. And like I said, the riffs are killer. And I know there's going to be some people watching that are going to be like, well, I just can't get into death metal. I can't get into the vocals, whatever. I get it. But, these guys are one of the leaders of the genre. They have been for a long time. And death metal legends right here. This is a highly, highly entertaining album that it's just really memorable. I've listened to plenty of death metal albums in my time where every song sounds exactly the same kind of growling, the same kind of riff, the same kind of pace, blah, 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 blah. And it's just not memorable, and it's forgettable. This is not that at all. Every song on here is just big and massive, sounds different than the track that came before it. The riffs are different, they're churning, they're crushing, they're technical. It's just a little bit of everything, and I dig it. I dig it a lot. Violence Unimagined from Cannibal Corpse, out now on Metal Blades Records. If you haven't checked it out, if you're a fan, do so immediately. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Got more stuff coming up. Obviously, this whole day is filled with review shows, right? We've got tomorrow is the Monsters Den show. Stay tuned for that. Also, interview with Scott Henderson, guitarist extraordinaire in the jazz fusion realm, and kind of does a little bit of bluesy stuff as well. That's coming up tomorrow, Friday morning at the Funhouse with Martin Popoff. The topic this Friday is about those really cool albums where the front half of the CD or the first side of the LP is amazing, and then it kind of loses steam in the second half. That's kind of what we're doing. So we're each going to come up with a bunch of selections of albums that start off with a bang and then kind of, peter out a little bit towards the end. So stay tuned for that on Friday morning. And then we got all sorts of ranking shows happening over the weekend. Blind Guardian, ranking the studio albums of jazz fusion bass legend Stanley Clarke, ranking the studio albums of the great fusion band Tony Williams' Lifetime, and then we got next week coming up Hudson Valley Squares in the Prague scene, and we kind of start this whole train all over again. We got all sorts of other review stuff coming up next week. We're going to review the brand new one. Well, it's actually been out it came out late last year. But All Traps on Earth, that's coming up next week. I'm going to give you my take on the new Thunder album. What else we got here? We got new Jeff Coleman, and Jeff Coleman is coming up on the show next week. We're going to interview him. Great guitar player. All sorts of other stuff. And Anthony Ferraro and I need to do a proper long review of the Jethro Tull A box set. Jethro Tull a la mode is what they're calling it. So, of course, that's the big, that's this guy right here, So that's coming up as well. So, and all sorts of other stuff. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to make a donation, click on the Ko-Fi link below. If you want to purchase some SOT merch, we got all sorts of different t-shirts, cool logos and fun stuff, and Hudson Valley Squares shirt, and Monsters Den shirt. We also got, mugs and stickers and hats and caps and hoodies, and we got some comic book geezers merch as well. So all that is on the link below, so check it out. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.